Sydney. Hey, Sydney! What's poppin'?
Nothing. Studying for med micro exam.
This is Sydney. She's from Michigan, Traverse City, to be exact.
Yep.
And that's about all I know about her. No, I'm kidding. I know a lot of things, but I'm gonna let her talk about it. I want to start with when you Europe. No, I'm messing up my words. When you were traveling throughout Europe before we started school.
Oh yeah. I backpacked Europe for a month. So I left August 26th with my roommate, and we went.
Shout out to Abby.
Shout out to Abby. And my boyfriend in high school had exchange students all the way through high school, so we stayed with a bunch of his old exchange students.
Nice.
So we went to Belgium, so we went to Brussels and Bruges, and then we went to Amsterdam in the Netherlands.
That's sick.
And then we went to Paris.
Pray for Paris. Pray for Paris.
Yeah, exactly. And then we went to Italy, and we stayed with a family there, Julia, Marco, and Paola, and their parents.
That's a cool name.
And that was in Rome. And we went to Milan. We went to this world market thing that they do every 4 years.
They were talking to me about that.
And they do every 4 years, and it was about like each country comes and they build like extravagant like buildings, and you walk in there and it like shows what the country's about, and like.
Is it like Disney World? That was like the
basically,
nearest thing I was thinking when they explained it to
like
me. I was
Disney World, but it's food. So like they talk about like sustainability or like what they're known for, like what crops they grow and things like that, or they represent themselves with food. So like Mexico was like Coronas and pork tacos and like you know what I mean. And so we did that, and we went to Venice. Mm-hmm. We went to Florence. And then we went to the coast for a day and swam in the Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, I hate you.
That was awesome. That's probably one of my favorite days, actually. Yeah. It was like this little teeny tiny town. Like, we got to the train station and it was a bar.
Really?
Like, we like got off the train.
That was the first thing?
It was a bar, and I'm like, okay.
That's fantastic.
And nobody spoke any English, and we just sat on the beach.
When I went to the countryside, it was straight Italian.
I know.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's so real. Like, when going to Rome and stuff, it was almost like you're in a city like New York or something.
Oh yeah.
Until like you see the Colosseum, and you're like, this is not anything I've seen in my life.
Until you go to the Vatican, you're like,
and then the Vatican is huge and sacred.
I know. And then I don't think we went. That's all we did in Italy, and then we went to Barcelona, and then we stayed with the family in Madrid. Jose Cuervo, actually.
Oh yeah, that was. You gotta explain that thing,
okay, so
I still can't believe that story.
Jose, okay, so the
family.
The Cuervos that we stayed with. So the dad, his uncle's dad.
Yeah. Something
like that, or his cousin's dad or something, is the Jose Cuervo. So it kind of got like passed down. So it's like old money.
Yeah. And
they have a son named Jose Cuervo and Jorge Cuervo. And we stayed with them, and their house was, it was an apartment. It was awesome. They had like zebra carpets everywhere, and it was just like, it was a huge apartment.
Yeah. In Madrid.
That's
sick. Fuck you.
And then we came to school. And then I went to Ireland a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, how was Ireland? I don't think I've talked to you about
Ireland. Yeah. We stayed in Dublin, but we did this Cliffs of Moher.
Okay.
tour.
Oh, you did that too?
We did. It was beautiful.
It was nice.
Did you go?
I didn't do Did I do Cliffs? I don't know what cliffs I seen. Was that along the north? Because I was in Belfast and we went up.
Well, it was like on the west, like Atlantic Ocean.
I think that's the other one. I think I didn't do that one.
It was beautiful.
I did like Galloway.
They filmed like part of Harry Potter there, and like The Princess Bride.
Nah.
And part of like Leap Year. Do you remember that movie? That Disney Leap Year. They filmed
okay, that was a different tour. Because we did like Game of Thrones, some other movie, and it was like different sets. What was the other one? I don't even remember. Fuck.
So yeah,
it was so cool, but it was nice.
It was awesome. It was all like countryside. We took this like coach bus for a day, and we saw like old witch tombs and like old castles, like the Abbey Castle that had been half like torn down, but it was all like old cemeteries of like people that ruled there and stuff. It was It was exactly what you picture Ireland to be. Like, it was literally like straw roofs with like clay houses and like sheep and cows everywhere and like endless hills. And,
It reminded me of like Lord of the Rings, like the Shire. Like I was like, this inspired Lord of the Rings. Like this is the land.
I know.
That's what hit me the hardest when I was there.
Yeah. So we did that for 21 days.
Yeah.
We lived out of a backpack.
That's ridiculous. Like, how do you? Well, why did you want to do that then? Well, I guess
just
that's really the question.
Like, okay, we're coming here. I'm probably never gonna have the chance to do this again.
Yeah.
So we might as well go all out. Like,
That's
if we're gonna do Europe, we're gonna do Europe right.
That's a good point. And it's good that you have somebody to do it with you.
Yeah, I don't like
some people. I know some people that do that solo.
I couldn't do it alone.
I would die.
There were so many times where like one of us understood something the other person didn't. You know, like a train station map, or like, you know, because we would get so tired because we would sleep on trains, so we didn't have to pay for hostels. So we'd sleep overnight on trains and like go to somewhere for all day and then get to a hostel.
Oh wow.
So like we would be so tired, and it was just like it was constant. Like honestly, it was survival. Like you have to get there, and you have to figure out where your hostel is, how to get there.
Yeah.
In a different language, and you have no idea like about their transportation.
Wait, how did that language thing work? Because did you guys like learn like a little bit of French, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Italian?
No, I knew a little bit of Spanish. Honestly, the place that I was most comfortable in was Spain, because I took 3 years of Spanish.
Yeah.
Not that I remember a whole lot, but like when I would look at menus or something like that, like I knew what exit enter was for like train stations, and I knew like what foods were what, so I could kind of.
Pollo, arroz con pollo.
Yeah.
Fromage. Nope, that's French. See, I'd be screwed. I would just skip languages back and forth.
No, I couldn't. But we stayed in a lot of big cities, which was nice because a lot of people speak English there. I feel really bad though because they all speak like 4 different languages.
I know.
And we know one.
We know one, and then we get mad at people that know 2. They're like, why don't you speak English? Why are you speaking Spanish? And like we get upset. At least in like New Jersey we do. Oh my gosh, it's rough. What was I gonna ask? You said you stayed at a few houses.
Yeah.
Like you said you stayed at a house in Rome. Like
we stayed at a house in Rome.
How was that? Like, cause that can't be in like directly in the city. It has to be a little to the.
It was a little. It was probably like
outside outskirts.
Yeah, it was probably like a 15-minute bus ride from like the middle of Rome, but I loved staying with families because you got to actually see like the culture.
Exactly.
Like, what it was like. We had traditional Italian food, and like when we stayed in Belgium, like we stayed with the one. Well, it was like one college guy, but he actually wasn't there. But his roommates, he let us stay in his room, and like his roommates took us around. So like,
that's nice.
They showed us like what Belgium actually is to them, like that, you know, not the touristy stuff.
Yeah, like the actual residential, like day to day.
So it was a lot of fun, and so
real.
the same thing as Spain, like you know, they
Jose Cuervo's with the Cuervos.
He's actually kind of a jerk.
Really? This is shots at Jose Cuervo.
But
no
it
more
was
endorsements.
Cool to see everything. But we kind of did it so we didn't have to do it during school or try to do it during school because we didn't know how the school system really was here, so we didn't want to like, you know, chance it. Yeah,
and it's hard to like, I know for me, like to find people to make a trip, to all coordinate on it, and then to do it again and again and again. Like it's I think it's a lot better to just knock it out all at once. I wish I did that.
Exactly.
Looking back.
It was crazy. Like I look back and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I remember when we were flying back to Manchester from Spain, and we looked at each other and we're like, we did it. We didn't die. We didn't get raped. We didn't starve to death. We always found where we had to be.
Oh my god.
One way or the other, we're like, we can do anything. We survived 21 days in Europe by ourselves.
Seriously though, like that's not anything to be like nothing should scare you after that.
No.
This is the best way I could explain it. Like that's real life.
No.
Everything else should be easier.
I'm kind of like traveled out now. Now I'm kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
I've been in Europe since August.
Yeah,
so.
you guys, you've been here a minute. I'm kind of almost done with it too. Like I've enjoyed it. I got the people. I know I know enough British people now.
This is an interesting culture.
It's still a very.
British people.
It's not people like are telling me, oh, you're in England. That can't be that much different than America. It is so much different. Like the language is not just the surface difference of this country. Okay, that's a good like transition. So, what are your favorite things?